Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Broncos Virtual War Room presented by Bud Light. Wow, can you believe the way this first round has unfolded so far? I am joined by the Pro Bowl wide receiver for your Denver Broncos, Courtland Sutton. Courtland, what are your overall impressions of what's transpired so far?
Oh wow, I'm sitting there amazed, just like everybody else. It's one of those things that I'm pretty sure everyone knows that the draft is so unpredictable and anything can happen. And being able to sit back and watch it and watch these dudes dreams come true, and then also being able to see us continue to our um build our team and our culture. So I'm really excited that we made the move and got Jerry Jeudy, and I know he's gonna be able to come in and help us out and be be able to be like as soon as he gets into the building. I know everybody in our room is excited about him coming in. Everybody in our building is excited about him coming in, and continue to add the pieces that we need to be able to build a Super Bowl championship caliber team.
I mean, this guy has game-altering play speed. Of the tape that you've seen of him, first impressions.
Oh, honestly, I think one of the biggest things that I see from seeing his film is he reminds me a little bit of Calvin Ridley, and watching how he runs his routes and watching how he accelerates and how he finishes with the ball. That's one thing that I know people that watch our room in Denver play. That's one thing that we really like to do is we like to play with a little bit of grit, a little bit of a little bit of oomph behind us. And watching him play, he has that. He catches the ball and he's trying to get in the end zone. How he has a nose for the end zone, and he knows how to get open. He knows he has soft hands. He makes the plays that you expect a big time receiver to make, and he makes those plays also in big games. Which to me, I think that's where it says a lot is when you can make those plays when the lights are on, and you have all these people watching you, depending on you beyond just your teammates. But uh, once you get to Denver, you got a whole fan base behind you. Broncos country is huge, and they want to see guys go out there and compete. And Jerry definitely brings that to the team when he comes to. You could see that he brings that grit with him, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to work with him, and I'm pretty sure everyone in our room is excited to be able to get to work with him.
Okay, well, our very own Matt Boyer, he is standing by right now with the president of football operations and general manager, John Elway.
All right, John, the 15th pick is in, and Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver out of Alabama. A lot of people didn't think he was going to be there at 15. What were you surprised?
Well, we were hoping, and so we were hoping that he was going to be there. It was, a long couple hours waiting to see if he was going to get there, especially the last 4 or 5 picks. But we're thrilled that he did make it. Obviously, he's got great ability, can really run routes, and production's been unbelievable playing in a program like that in Alabama. So he's a guy that comes in. We met with him at the combine. He's a guy that wants to win, wants to be great in the game of football, and so we're really excited about having Jerry.
How do you see him fitting in the wide receiver room? You've got a Pro Bowler in Courtland Sutton already. Where does Jerry fit in all of this?
Well, obviously it was a need for us, and so I think that he comes in with a lot of experience already, having played in the SEC and played against great competition. We expect him to come in. He knows, he knows a pro-style offense and playing in what he played in at Alabama. And so, obviously he's going to be on the opposite side from Courtland, and we'll see what the best combination that we can get with those two and how it all blends together. But it's definitely another weapon for us and something that's really going to take some pressure off Courtland too.
What you've already picked once in the first round. What are you going to be looking for as we near towards the end of night one? Movement wise, with regards to teams moving up and down.
Well, we'll still look and see if there's any opportunities, to move up and where we are and what we like, and so we'll continue to work until the round's over. But you never know what's going to happen. We got to figure out the next step. Now that we've enjoyed Jerry being a Bronco now for about 10 minutes, now we got to start concentrate on pick 46 and see what we want to do there.
John, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you again soon.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, Alexis, Courtland, we'll send it to you guys.
Thanks so much, Matt. We really appreciate it. You know what's funny about all of this is, it's a new wide receiver in the room, Jerry Jeudy, but we also have a new offensive coordinator in Pat Shurmur. We know that he loves that three-vert system. It's really important for him to have multiple threats deep down the field. So kind of what's your overall impression of Pat Shurmur's system, and how do you see fitting in with Jerry Jeudy? Almost said Henry Ruggs.
I think that Jerry will be able to come in and contribute right away. So one of the things that we've been able to do with this time in quarantine is been able to get into the playbook and really dive into it and try to get a deeper understanding before we get into these OTAs. And so being able to look into the playbook and watch some of the games that I've been able to watch from past Giants games, places that Coach Sherman's been. It's cool to be able to watch and see how he uses his receivers, because being a receiver, we feel like we can touch the ball every time and go make a play, but there's bigger schemes to the game plan. So for us, I do think that Jerry will be able to come in and he'll be able to contribute and be able to help us. He runs really good routes. It seems like he's a technician in his route running, and which is going to be really big for us in the system that we have, because we run dang near every route that's on the tree. So being able to get a guy to come in and from what I've heard, he seems like a guy who's ready to come in and learn. And I know Coach Z is probably super excited to be able to get another young guy to come in and help mold his career to be able to hopefully have that path of success in the NFL. And Jerry's gonna definitely be able to come in and work with this system. I know Coach Sherman is excited to be able to have him, and I know Drew's probably excited too to be able to get him and add him to the arsenal of weapons that we have in Denver.
What's going to be the greatest piece of advice that you're going to give him when you finally get the chance to meet him? Heck, maybe here in just a little bit.
Man, I feel like there's so much, and God willing, we're able to, play together for a long time and build a little dynasty. I still to this day, admire and tell them to this day that Demaryius and Emmanuel, watching them what they did in Denver together, having that tandem and being able to be able to go out there and listen to the stories that they tell us, how they would say, one of them will be having a really good game and they would go tell the OC, hey, I'm done for the day. Well, not really done for the day, but hey, let my guy get some burn. And that's how you would see, these two guys having, multiple games where both of them have 100 yards and they're just out there, having fun and, to hopefully we're able to build something similar, with building a dynasty with our offense, being able to build something to where people say that, the Denver Broncos had one of the most talented, deep offenses that we have seen. And I think if I had to be able to give him one thing, maybe it would probably be to, enjoy the run, enjoy every single day. Every day brings a new challenge that we get to, take on. And, every day isn't going to be pretty. There are days that we wake up and we have to go outside and practice and it's, in the teens, or it's snowing outside, or, a game, it might be snowing. It might be the snow game in Kansas City, it happens. And so, but it's a part of the game. It's a part of the journey, and being able to enjoy it and never look at it as something that could be, something that should be looked down upon.
Well, Matt Boyer now, he is joined by the head coach, Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, let's see what he has to say about Jerry Jeudy.
Number 15. What I just talked to John. Are you surprised that he was there at 15?
Well, there's always, you can never predict how the top half of the draft is going to go. I think the first 7, 8, or 9 picks were kind of predictable, and then after that it got a little bit unpredictable. We thought there'd be a run of receivers right ahead of us. There really wasn't, just one went. So we were happy to get Jerry in that spot. We think he's a good route runner with good speed and been a very productive receiver throughout his career, and we're happy to have him.
What about his route running abilities separated him in your mind between some of these other guys at the top of the class?
Well, he's just very crisp and sharp at the breaking points, and it's hard to cover when a receiver that can do that, and he has good ability to do that.
We had talked to Courtland Sutton earlier tonight. I think he's very happy about the pick. Where do you see him fitting in with that wide receiver room?
Well, we'll put him right in there with Courtland and Tim and Deshaun and all the guys and see how it shakes out. But we're happy to have him, and we're hopeful that he'll be a guy that can make plays for us and help us score some points and be a part of a winning team for us.
Coach, we appreciate your time. I know there's still plenty of draft left. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Matt. Man, I don't think Coach could have gotten him fast enough. I know he's probably excited to go back and watch how the rest of this first round unfolds because, like I mentioned earlier, I was not expecting all three of the best wide receivers to still be on the board. It was just absolutely incredible. Matt, thanks so much. You are joining us here again. Matt, your overall thoughts of what we've seen?
We just heard it from Coach and John Elway. I think that they were hopeful that Jerry Jeudy was going to be there. They certainly didn't expect him to be there at number 15. I thought the most telling thing was the fact that both John and Vic, specified the route running. I think that's so uncommon when, you've got a wide receiver jumping from college to the NFL. The difference between the routes that are run in college versus the NFL are extremely wide. So I know that I think that they got a quality receiver, and I think that they got a quality guy. I think he's going to fit well with Courtland and the guys in that wide receiver.
Yeah,
What do you think about?
I think Jerry will be able to come in and we have guys in our room who are willing and ready to take young guys under their wing to teach them the system and teach them how to become a pro, because like you said, there's a difference between being able to make that transition from college to the NFL. And one of those things is learning how to become a pro, learning how to take care of things on your own and do things on your own and take care of your body, watching the film, doing all these things that you got to do to be able to be ready for Sunday.
Speaking of Sundays, Court, we've got the man who's the voice of the Denver Broncos, Dave Logan, standing by with Alexis Perry. Alexis, I'm sure Dave shares the opinion that he's very happy about the pick.
You know what, Matt? Let's just go ahead and ask him. Dave Logan, are you happy about this pick?
Yeah, I really like the pick. I had said before the draft that I thought Jerry Jeudy was the best receiver in the draft. And, the last 3 or 4 years, it doesn't always work out this way. But I have said publicly that I thought the Broncos needed to acquire playmakers, guys that could do something when they got their hands on the football. And I think Jerry Jeudy, if you just look at his track record at Alabama, and you look at him in terms of really looking at the tape, he's exceptional route runner with really good feet. It's uncommon to see, I think, as polished a route runner come out of college. I mean, you see guys when they get to the NFL and they refine their game, and athletically they're really skilled. But I think it's really uncommon to see a guy that has that route running ability, and he's just coming out of college. And plus, he's got top end speed as well. So I thought Jeudy was the best receiver in the draft, and I think it's just great that he fell to the Broncos, and I do like the pick very much.
We talk about the value of high character players, not just physical freaks. What do you know about the character of Jerry Jeudy and what he's going to provide this locker room?
Well, I mean, honestly, I've never met him. I certainly have followed the story and him losing his sister and dedicating really what he is yet to accomplish in football, and certainly accomplished at the University of Alabama to her. He seems to be, in every interview that I've heard, a really grounded young man. Anytime you take a step from college, I don't care what kind of player you are or what you came from, the NFL will test you in so many different ways. It tests you physically on the field. It tests you mentally. It tests you character-wise because you have more time to do what you want to do. It's not as confined as it is in college. And so there'll be an adjustment period for him, just like every other rookie that comes in the league. But everything that I've heard about and people that I've talked to and just watching him from afar, he certainly looks like he's made of the right stuff. And from a skill set, Jerry Jeudy is an extraordinarily talented receiver.
For those in Broncos country who weren't hoping for a wide receiver here in the first round, maybe they were hoping the Broncos would take a cornerback, or, if Javon Kinlaw was still there, maybe we'd take him. But what do you tell those people when you have the opportunity to take a guy like Jerry Jeudy? you don't go ahead and take a cornerback, even if he is high up on your draft board. You take that, what some are saying, possibly the best wide receiver in this entire class.
Well, I mean, listen, the draft is probably the biggest single event and the easiest to second guess. And we'll have a chance to reflect back on the picks, next year and the year after and the year after. And there'll be plenty of fodder for that. And I understand that. Listen, the Broncos are in need of 2 or 3 different positions, and they're in need of players. But to me, Jeudy was the best wide receiver in the draft. And I get the concern about drafting a wide receiver in the first round. I really do. I mean, I played wide receiver for a long time. You can find, this is a deep wide receiver draft, right? You're going to have probably 12 guys taken in the first 2 rounds. So you've got talented wide receivers. But I think the best wide receiver in this draft was Jerry Jeudy. And I think given the fact that Denver offensively, ranked in the bottom third of virtually every important offensive category, they need to find ways to score points. And I think this is one step in the right direction.
How do you think he's going to fit into Pat Shurmur's system?
Well, I mean, Pat's had good success as a coordinator in this league. I mean, he's an 11 personnel guy. He's a 3 wide, 1 tight end, 1 back guy. But what I'm anxious to see is how Pat Shurmur builds the offense around the talent that he has. Now, you've got a belief system as a coach, and this is kind of what we run. This is what we like. These are our concepts. All that stuff doesn't change much. But I think the really good coaches are guys that will look at their talent and then construct the offense within the foundation of what they believe to fit that personnel. So I'm anxious to see what Pat does with what he has. But I'll tell you this, he's better at wide receiver right now than he was yesterday as the Broncos offensive coordinator.
Yes, that is for sure. Really quick, I just want to get your quick thoughts as we, head into days 2 and 3. What do you hope the Broncos can accomplish? What are some of those key positions of need that they need to fill?
Well, I mean, I think you look at the offensive line, you look at center in particular. You're not going to draft a center in the first round, but there are a couple of good centers that may fall down to the bottom of the first or early in the second. Can they maneuver up if they decide to do so to take them? I also think defensive back, Bryce Callahan, you hope he's going to be healthy, but you don't know. Chris Harris is gone. You signed A.J. Boye. So you've got a solid starter on one side, but they need depth at the cornerback position as well. And it wouldn't surprise me, really, if you look at a defensive lineman, right? You've got Jarrell Casey, who you've added, and you've got some good guys that are coming back in that regard. But I think just generally speaking, they want to upgrade as many different positions as they can, and they've got a pick at 46 in the second round. They've got 3 third-round picks. So you've got some draft capital to do that this year.
What are your expectations for Drew Lock and this Denver Broncos offense now with the addition of Jerry Jeudy here in the upcoming 2020 season?
I guarantee you somewhere, I don't know where Drew Lock is. He hasn't checked in with me tonight.
No,
but I would think that he's celebrating some. Yeah, right. There you go. I would think that he's celebrating somewhere. Drew Lock is a football fan. He watches a lot of college football, and I think he knows he just got the best wide receiver in the college game. So you add him to Courtland Sutton and Noah Fant and the backs, and so you're starting to see this offense really with some weapons. And you think of the 2 matchups against the Chiefs. You have to be able to score points to beat Kansas City.
Well, thanks for being the best play-by-play voice of all time. We really, really appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on the show. I know you're super busy tonight.
No problem.
Yes, we will see you soon.
Thanks, Alexis. Appreciate you. All right.
All right. Thanks, Alexis. Court, you just heard from Dave Logan. He wanted to know Drew Lock's thoughts. Drew checked in on Twitter with a smirky face emoji right after the Jerry Jeudy pick. You think Drew's pretty happy about things?
Of course he did. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure he is happy. I mean, like I said, I know myself and the rest of the guys in Deshaun and Tim and the rest of the guys in our room. I know they're excited. I'm pretty sure you call anybody else on the team, they're probably really excited about getting him as well.
I remember when you and Deshaun were rookies, you guys would religiously go over to the jugs machine. 100 balls a day keeps the drops away is what you guys used to tell yourselves when you guys were running over that jugs machine. What types of things is that what Jerry needs to do to kind of, get himself over that rookie curve?
I think it's one of those things that everybody kind of hits that rookie wall curve, kind of at their own time, and they kind of come around it their own way. Some people are earlier, some people are later. It's one of those things that, he's going to come in and I know, like I said, Coach Z is going to be really excited to get his hands on him. I know that attest a good amount of my my success that I've had in the NFL to, Coach Z stand on me about, certain things, whether it's breaking points or whether it's being crazy about he's a big on habits, being crazy about your habits. How good are your habits? The habits are gonna, make you and break you in the long run, and how good are you about those? So I think Jerry coming into our meeting room with Coach Z, and then the rest of us is gonna definitely help him along that curve for sure.
All right, we get set. We bring Alexis Perry back in. Alexis, we just heard from Dave Logan. Dave's seen it all. I mean, when Dave Logan says that the guy is one of the best route runners that he's seen in a long time, you listen.
Exactly. You have to believe the man, because I don't think there's a single person who really studies the tape. At least locally, I can think of some people. Cecil Lammey is the first guy that pops into my mind who really dives deep into this draft coverage. But Dave Logan, he is a football lifer. I mean, this guy is absolutely unbelievable. And if he goes out there and says Jerry Jeudy's maybe even the best receiver in the draft, I mean, Broncos country, you got to be feeling really, really good about what you have now.
Court, I want to ask you a quick question about route running, because we've heard so much about, route running with Jerry Jeudy. What's the biggest difference in the route tree, college to pro, or what did you have the biggest time or biggest, I guess, difficulty adjusting to when you were a rookie?
I think the biggest thing that I had to adjust to was I ran a spread offense in college. It was straight spread, no huddle, anything. It was get all of our plays from the sideline. So getting used to getting into a huddle, hearing a full play call, and then going out there, breaking huddle, lining up and running the play it's one of those things that people look at it and they might think of it as it's something so simple, but when you're not used to it and you have to go into a huddle, hear the play, go to your spot, while you're doing that, you're reading the coverage, you're trying to make sure you remember what you have to do so that you don't mess up, the rest of the guys on the field. So, it's interesting, and it's different. Everyone goes about it differently, and I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine for sure.
Really quick, you guys, I just want to get a quick plug in for the dbron.co auction that's going on right now. Tonight is the last night, and it's a way for you to support COVID-19 relief efforts in our own community. The Broncos launched this online auction with 100% of the proceeds benefiting the Colorado COVID Relief Fund. So you guys can actually go to www.dbron.co/auction before noon tomorrow. And there are so many different things that you can bid on. I'm sure, Courtland, that you probably have something in that auction. What are you auctioning off?
We have my girlfriend and I have been looking into different ways that we can contribute to the causes, because there are a lot of people who are putting their their lives on the line to help save those who are becoming sick, and we're I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone that's across America right now, saying that we're appreciative of all of everyone that's out working this, and whether you're someone who is helping in the grocery stores, making sure that we're able to go get groceries, or someone that's working in the hospital that's making sure that that people's lives are being saved and are being taken care of. So it's I don't have anything personally in the auction, but I'm excited to see what happens with the auction for sure.
I'm sure we can get some things separately signed by you to maybe, auction off some other way. I'm pretty sure we can figure that out. But also a big shout out to everyone who, while the Broncos were on the clock, that went out and drafted as a part of the NFL Draft-a-thon. You guys can still do that throughout the night. You can go to NFL.com/relief, or you can text draft to 21000. All the help, we talk about those who are on the front lines of this. I mean, let's just try to do our part if able.
Court, real quick, I want to know, wide receiver's already been addressed. What's next? What do you think the team needs going into day 2?
Oh, it'll be honestly, it'll be interesting. I think there's a lot of positions that they're looking at. There are obviously rumors after, I'm pretty sure after like the first round, the picks kind of become like people have ideas of what they're looking for, but it's nothing specific. So I'm excited. I mean, I trust that Mr. Elway and Coach Fangio and Mr. Matt, everyone's gonna make, do what they do, to keep bringing in guys that are like I said, gonna, help us become and stay that Super Bowl caliber team, and go out there and put together, winning seasons with hopefully a lot of hardware that comes with them.
We talk about speed, and specifically speed in the AFC West and having to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs. So kind of what's next for the Broncos in order to, win the West and be true Super Bowl contenders?
Honestly, I don't think it's too deep behind it, because if, you go and you watch the games, you take away, one or two of the games from the season, and you just look at the whole season in general, and we're in pretty much every game. A lot of our games, I think most of our losses were one possession games. I mean, that's around the league, so it happens to everyone. But if you just look and see how close we are to be able to be in that conversation of competing with the Chiefs, everyone looks at our division as I feel like I personally believe our division is very strong, and I think a lot of people look at our division as that. And I think it's just honestly just taking what you have and growing on it, and believing that the foundation that you're building your team upon is going to get to that spot where you can consistently compete with these every team every week.
Court, you mentioned Coach Z a couple moments ago. I want to circle back to that real quick. How much has, having him as a constant presence throughout your time at the Denver Broncos helped you from a continuity standpoint? Because having the same voice in your ear over this span has to be helpful.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful to be able to know that I get to come back into a room where my receivers coach is someone who is the same guy that I've had, since I've gotten in the league, and he's preaching the same things that I've heard since I've gotten here. And it's when you have that familiarity of knowing that you get to go into this room and you understand how you're going to get coached, and you understand, what to expect and what your coach is expecting out of not only yourself but everybody in that room. I think it kind of gives you that edge, and it also there's a ease and a comfort feeling to know that you have somebody in your room who believes in you, because obviously Coach Z is somebody who vouched heavy for me to be able to get into Denver. You have somebody who believes in your potential and who you can become, and somebody who pushes you to get to that potential every single day and never lets it slack off. So to be able to go into a room and have Coach Z for another year, for a third year, it's awesome to be able to have. And I'm pretty sure you ask the rest of the guys that are in my room, in our room, will say the same thing. Having Coach Z, somebody who pushes us every single day, every single week, to be the best we can. It's awesome to be able to have that familiarity of him being in our room and being our leader of our room.
He's always got you guys doing something different out there. It's always the bricks. It's always the he's got some sort of gadget out there with you guys on the field, doesn't he?
Oh, for sure. It's crazy that the bricks came from Deshaun Hamilton. Deshaun actually brought the bricks out there, but Coach Z, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can get to our practices early enough, but we do we have a whole routine that we do as receivers before practice even starts, and we get out there 10 minutes before practice and before stretch, and we get our jugs in and we do our footwork stuff, and it kind of gets us warm and gets us ready to go for practice.
Courtland, you were talking a little bit earlier about that feeling of comfort. What's the comfortability level right now with Drew Lock heading into this season? I mean, you guys had 5 games with him. You went 4-1. Really, things couldn't have been better. Kind of how comfortable and excited are you guys with Drew Lock at the helm here?
Excited for his potential. Drew has so much potential, and he's shown us a glimpse of it. And I know everyone's excited to see the rest of it in upcoming seasons.
All right. Well, I think you two might want to hop over to our other video room where we're doing our interviews, because we are going to be having a very special guest here any minute. You guys won't believe who it is. Truly. I mean, who could it possibly be? Can somebody guess? No? How about I tell you? It's going to be the Broncos' 15th overall pick, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama. We are so excited he's going to be able to join us. But really quick, I just want to let you guys know of a couple great things that we are doing on Broncos TV every single weekday, Monday through Friday. I host a show every Monday called Broncos Beat, where I interview a few of your favorite roundtable folks. I mean, everyone from James Palmer from the NFL Network, Cecil Lammy from 104.3 The Fan. We have our friends from Broncos Country Tonight, Ryan Edwards and Benjamin Albright. They are frequent flyers. And of course, Matt Boyer, our very own Matt Boyer, he joins us a ton. So that is Mondays at 6:30 on KTVD Channel 20 locally. You guys can also check that out at 7 o'clock on YouTube. But we also have some really great content coming up on our OTT platform. For those of you guys who know that, that's kind of that Broncos television app. If you guys have the NFL app on your smart TV, you guys can check out the Broncos page. We have Steve Atwater. He is interviewing some of his teammates from championship seasons. That's all going to be posted next weekend. So we really hope that you guys can check that out. Okay, I think I filled. Did I fill enough? We have none other than the Broncos' 15th overall pick, Jerry Jeudy, standing by with Courtland and Matt. Take it away, guys.
Congratulations, man. Hey, dreams come true for sure.
Appreciate it.
Court, I'm gonna get out of the way and give you the first question because this is your new teammate. This is the guy that's coming into your wide receiver room. So I cede the floor to you.
My dude, so how you feel? You know, I know this. It's such a blessing. It's such a you know, one of those things that, you know, being a football player, we all look forward to being able to live our dream of being able to be, you know, in the NFL. So how do you feel? What's your emotions like?
Right now, it's just I'm just through sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears I put into this moment. So it's crazy right now.
Right. Trust me, I hear you. It's a lot of stuff that go behind the scenes that, you know, people don't really see and people don't understand. And you know, I know that I'm excited to be able to get you in our room. I know Coach Z. I don't know if you talked to him yet, but Coach Z is excited, man. He ready to get you in the room and get you on the in the group, get you ready, get you a part of the RDA lifestyle. I'm pretty sure he already told you about it, but he ready to get you a part of the RDA lifestyle for sure.
I'm ready to step too.
Jerry, when you got the call and saw it was Denver, you know, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Denver, well, I was kind of shocked because, you know, going like seeing through social media and stuff, everybody got me going Jets, Raiders, or Jacksonville. I never seen no like mock draft that had me at Denver.
Court, what's your opinion? What can Jerry's route running bring to, you know, this offense?
I think it helps everybody. It helps everybody on our offense, running backs, tight ends, the rest of the receivers. Being able to have guys that can, you know, run every route on the tree and be able to get open. It helps everybody. And you know, I think his route run is definitely gonna be able to help our room and help our offense grow. And I know Drew's gonna be excited to get Jerry in there too.
Court, we got one more question. I'm gonna leave it to you.
You'll leave me the question? Oh man, let me think. Jerry, what's the first thing you're looking forward to when you get to Denver, man?
Yeah. I never been to Denver, so I'm ready to see how the city like, see what the vibe's like for real. So I just want to see what the experience like up there.
I can assure Jerry Jeudy that it is really not all that cold here in Denver, especially right now. It's feeling pretty good. All right, you guys, that does it for our post-pick coverage right here on the Broncos Virtual War Room presented by Bud Light. Be sure to tune into the live press conference with John Elway and Vic Fangio after the first round wraps up on denverbroncos.com and right here on Facebook Live. You guys can also join us right back here tomorrow night at 4 o'clock. We're going to try to get Jerry Jeudy on again tomorrow so we can hear from him. We'll have national and local reporters joining us to give their thoughts on what the Broncos did here on day one before having Steve Atwater and a handful of current Broncos like Bradley Chubb joining us to watch the first hour of day two. We really hope to see you then. Bye, guys.